So we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
It's been
We're
a
live.
while.
It's been a while. Who sings that?
Stained.
Your favorite
Aaron
band,
Lewis.
Gabe?
Hey, 2004 Dylan was loving Stain.
No,
That
no,
was
yeah.
earlier than that.
no.
I know someone who's a Stained fan.
Hey,
Her name's
Dylan.
Heather.
Hey, Dylan.
Yes.
I do have the controls where I can mute you at any time.
Oh God.
I don't know if I would
want
want to admit that anymore on the
I'm
air.
pro Nickelback too.
Don't
start
wow.
muting me.
Wow. All right, hit that button now.
No. Okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit, I guess. Should we start the show? It's been a while.
I think we did.
We did start the show?
I think we did.
And there's people actually watching, which is also wild.
We started ish.
We just hold on. Let's remember how to do this. You know what time it is, right?
Oh yeah.
Now.
When we come back for real, I need to make a new intro.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that could
Roger.
Roger
sounds
singing
happy.
prime time.
So good. It's so good.
be. Hey, you know what I should do next time we do this? We should. I should bring Harry and put him on my shoulder the whole time.
You should do that. That won't be weird at all.
No, not at all.
Rock, Harry. I got a 35-year-old parrot. He's pretty tight.
At least he's old
Anyway.
enough to drive.
Guys, we're doing an episode of Primetime.
It's
You know the
prime
best part? The best part. I don't know if I
You
can
just
say that.
said that. You
I
just
did
said
say
that.
That was live too.
You did. You just
I
said
didn't
that.
say that live. That was
You
crazy. The best part.
Crime time. Wait.
Crime time. Charles and I were just talking about that. What if this thing was called Crime Time? And that would be a bad idea. Anyway, hi Daria. Hi everybody. Hi John. Hi Rob. You know what? We took a pretty long break. We know that. We're back though. The show is not going away. Well, Mike and I talked about this the other day. We're back, sort of.
Yeah. We're right now. We're here.
Right.
Next week, something will be
Here.
here. Then we won't
Then we won't be here
for who knows
while.
Till January, till next
Yeah.
year.
until next year.
Till
Which
next
We've
so
been
far
missing you
away.
guys.
Yeah.
We've been missing you guys also. Anyway, somebody just sent me a text message and I had to read it real quick. You know what? Okay, so we're back. I'm really excited. It's episode 95. We took a long break between episode 94 and episode 95. I'm really excited to be back tonight. We're talking about holiday guitar wish lists. And we're going to do a little bit of a recap on 2023. We've been busy over here at Taylor preparing for our, you guys ready? 50th anniversary. 50 years of Taylor guitars. How crazy is that?
I like Craig's comment here.
It is. It is finally
good.
right. We did
Thanks for that reminder, though, Craig. We appreciate you.
Daria wants me to bring Harry. I should bring Harry next time. Anyway, where is Lindsay? I saw this question. Where is Lindsay?
Better yet, how is Lindsay?
Lindsay is great. She was sick for a little bit. She's back. She's back in the saddle. Lindsay's been working on some crazy stuff. As you guys know, she was working really, really hard on the Powers Electric stuff. We will touch on that in the new year. We'll have Andy on and we'll do a Powers Electric episode.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be super fun. Those guitars are pretty great. Man, oh man, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We brought Dylan Van Vliet back. He's our retail marketing manager. How you doing, Dylan?
Oh, I'm just peachy. It's great. I love that I get to be on the holiday the holiday episode. That feels special. And I just
Peachy?
love the holiday season. And yes, I am peachy.
Are
Things
you-
good. How are you guys doing?
Dylan, are you a big holiday person? Do you nerd out over the holidays?
I love the holidays. We were talking about the Grinch before the show started. I love the Grinch. I actually have a Grinch tattoo. This is not a
Nice.
lie. I love
Do you
the
really?
holidays.
My
I
youngest
do.
daughter would approve.
No, I love it. I grew up watching the cartoon, the Dr. Seuss cartoon, and then of course, well, they're both Dr. Seuss, but the Jim Carrey movie also great. There's also a recent animated movie, pretty
Yep.
good,
That gets a lot of play in our house.
beautiful. Anyway, yes, put on the Hallmark movies. Let's do it. Hot chocolate. Everything's great during the holidays. Everyone's in a better mood. This is
I've been waiting for the Grinch Goes to Vegas. But that
Is that a
hasn't happened yet,
movie
no.
that I missed?
No, it's one I just created in my head.
Nice.
That's one I'd pay to watch.
I would watch that movie.
Hopefully,
what do you
during
got on
Christmas.
your shirt there? Mike Venezia is back, ladies and gentlemen. Mike V, Roger's agent. What do you have on your shirt there, Roger? I mean,
Santa
agent.
Pug.
I mean, Pug.
Santa
Santa Pug.
Pug.
Is it
Yeah.
actually Roger?
It is not, but it is a wonderful rendition. It is definitely, people have said, "Was that Roger?" No, it's a shirt.
It's like someone saw Roger and made a shirt and then sent you the link to buy
Yes,
it.
they made the shirt. Then I got Roger. Then I got the shirt. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, it's our holiday episode. I mean, I wanted to be at least somewhat festive. You'll never ever see me wear a red shirt otherwise because it is
That's
not
true. We
my
wear
color.
black.
It is not flattering whatsoever.
We wear- We wear black and shades of black.
You could tell who the slimmest guy is out of these four because he's the one not wearing black. Right below us, right there.
The one covered up with an overshirt.
Yeah, hiding your thinness. I hate you.
Hide your thinness. That's also a good band name.
I was gonna say.
Hiding the thinness. There we
Hiding
go.
the thinness. I'm
good-
down with
yes.
the sickness. Hey, Gabe, how you been, man?
I'm great.
Yeah?
I'm excited to see everybody. Excited to be back-ish, and yeah, I'm just doing very well.
Isn't that a show on ABC? Backish?
No, but I love that show, by the way. Okay.
That's a good show.
It's such a, I mean, I was so bummed when it ended. It's so smart.
It was a good
Anyway,
show.
okay, so we're back for now. What do we mean by that is next week, a few months back, you probably saw because they dropped their interview with Andy Powers, but Alamo Music were out visiting. And so we actually did a episode of Primetime, pre-record episode of Primetime with them. So we wanted to come back in and have a little holiday episode, tell you where we've been, what we've been working on, etc. And then come back next week with a pre-recorded or pre-recorded. I can't even speak, Gabe. It's your fault. A pre-recorded version of an episode of Primetime. And then Mike and I will be in the feed, of course. We'll be commenting and hanging out with you guys. And then we're going to take our holiday break. Yeah, we're tired for coming back for 2 weeks-ish. And then I'd say the second or third week of January, probably not the third week because that would be NAMM, right, Mike?
The NAMS.
NAMS?
We would have to do it the third week because we get back in pocket on the 8th. I think the 9th might be a little early.
Yeah,
So we would have to do it the 16th because the next week is NAMM.
the NAMS.
I like that you know all the Tuesdays several weeks out in your head, Mike.
You
Yeah,
know,
we have to.
here's all right. Look, we do
You
have
can
to know
tell.
that, especially like district sales managers. We have to
Yeah.
know the days of the week because we always think about when are we leaving for a trip, when are we visiting a store, when are we going to be doing an event, blah 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 blah. And we need to make sure that we are working within the confines that we are given by our dealers because they're not open every day. So
Yeah, you can tell that you've got a good handle on your schedule in your life.
yeah.
I have no idea what day it is. Jay was like, "Hey, it's prime time tonight. Here I am."
Yeah, none of us know. None of us know what day it is, especially this year. This year's been busy. We're going to actually do a little recap and talk about how busy we have been and what we've been up to in our very long break. I know our last episode was in like June, maybe July, something like that.
I don't even know. See,
And we
that
were thinking we
that
were
Gabriel,
trying.
I don't know.
We were trying to come back in October, and then, well, let's go into this segment we call Hug Your Haters real quick. And then we'll do What Are You Listening To? And we'll kick off this show. It's going to be fun. All right. So check this out. Hug Your Haters. I don't want to say we got a lot of hate. I would say, yes, I saw a question up there. Is your mom watching? Of course, mom's watching. What? she had nothing to do on Tuesdays for a very long time, and now she's back in business. So I'm gonna have to do like a solo private primetime episode for my mom over the next few weeks, just so that she stays happy. That wasn't hate. We didn't really get hate, but you know what we did get, which Mike was and guys was really I appreciate, is that the amount of emails that we received from people and questions. Where's the show? When's it coming back? Don't leave us hanging. We love it. We have to have it. And we're grateful for you guys. We appreciate that. We're sorry we couldn't come back earlier. We have had a very hectic, very chaotic year. We have a lot of really cool stuff that we're going to talk about later on that's happening next year. We've already been doing some crazy content capture for next year, and my team has been. It's Gabe's already working on it, so we're pretty excited about what's going to happen next year. Before we do our little what are you listening to? Remember, let's keep the feed clean, and we don't want to have Gabe have to put you in timeout. He loves doing that.
Yeah, it's been really nice. I've gotten a bunch of emails and like Facebook messages from folks in the Taylor Guitars owners group there on Facebook, you know, and just even posts of people asking about Primetime. It's really nice to see that it's taken such a hold in the guitar nerd community.
We love every single one of you guys. We're super excited that you're here. Things are going to change for the show in the new year. We'll talk about that towards the end, but it's exciting. It's really cool stuff that we're working on. So you want to play a little game? I have a useless clip. We haven't used a useless clip yet. I'd like to use a useless clip if I could find it.
It's like a phone a friend.
Yeah, it's like phone a friend. Here is a useless clip. Dylan, what have you been listening to, dude?
Really 3 albums have been in a rotation. I'd say Movements, Ruckus. I almost wore a Movement shirt tonight, but it says, I hope you choke, so I didn't know if it was appropriate. And Citizen, Calling the Dogs. That album is fantastic. And then one that's not an emo band, Odyssey, To What End. He dropped that album late last year, and I just started diving into it, and it's amazing.
Wasn't that nice?
You know, had to like mix it up. You can't just throw like 3 emo albums.
Well, you could because that's your deal. You can, I guess.
You could, I guess. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Gabe, what have you been listening to?
A bunch of stuff. I went to the record store really recently. I was on like a day excursion with my kids. They were out of school for a day, and so I picked up a few fun things. I picked up T Swift's 1989 reissue. I actually got a limited version of that, like I think it's called like Sky Blue or something, which is super cool. I just got this week, and I'll be roundly ridiculed for this, Dave Matthews Band. I love this record.
Daria.
Before These Crowded Streets, and I got the limited yellow vinyl version of that. And then the other thing I picked up at the record store, 10-year anniversary, Jason Isbell.
That's good.
Southeastern.
Nice.
I got to meet Jason a month or 2 ago. I was in Nashville on a documentary shoot and got to meet him, and he was just awesome. Super cool, amazing dude, like one of the nicest people in the business, and it was really, really fun to get to hang with him for a little bit. So I was inspired to pick up one of his records.
Fantastic. Hey, Mike, what have you been listening to?
Rush.
Oh yeah.
Forever and
Big
always.
shock, right? I know.
What else?
Well, in addition to Rush, actually, there's been a lot of reissues of very, very well engineered albums coming out on Mobile Fidelity and UHQR formats. In the UHQR world, I picked up Steely Dan's Asia, and that's pressed on Clarity vinyl. That's like, it's like as thick as a pad of paper. It's so thick and so rigid that you get no excess vibrations when you're playing it. And just the reproduction of it is absolutely astounding. Probably the best sounding record I've ever heard. The second best sounding record I ever heard was Countdown to Ecstasy by Steely Dan on UHQR. So I've been listening to Asia a lot. And then recently, very recently, Mobile Fidelity started releasing all of the David Lee Roth era Van Halen albums on what they call their one-step ultra disc. So it's the very first album, Van Halen 1, finally came out, and that album's like 39 minutes long, but it's 2 albums. They actually made it into 2 albums because when they press it at 45 RPM. So you actually get better fidelity that way. And the reproductions of those albums is actually very, very, very good. So I do highly recommend both of those because they're both limited in quantity too. But that's what I've been listening to a lot.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow, you're like an audiophile, Mike.
I am.
Mike,
Have
you
you
have
seen
to.
that guitar? Look at the guitar behind him. That just
Yeah.
proves that he's an
Yeah,
That
that's
is an
that's an
audiophile
audiophile guitar if I ever saw one.
That's an audiophilist.
Now,
Yeah.
Mike-
Harper for high definition.
I can't remember if I saw an actual Geddy Lee interview recently. He actually was just in Cleveland, but I couldn't doing his talk tour thing.
Hello,
but I
Cleveland.
sadly could not go. But you'll have to correct me if this is not true or just an internet myth. I can't remember if it was an interview with him or somebody talking about him, but that his name is not actually Geddy. It's based on the way his name is Gary, and his mom says it that way because of her accent. That's so wild. I never knew that.
His name is Gary Leibowitz.
That's so I never
Actually,
knew.
it's not Gary Leibowitz. It's Gary Lee Weinrib. But,
Weinrib, yeah.
Then he went by Leibowitz for like 3 seconds. And so Gary Lee Weinrib is his full name. And his mom, who had a very heavy Hebraic accent, would say, Geddy.
That's
And then
so
one of his
rad.
friends like, why does your mom call you Geddy? And he's like, she's not. She's calling me Gary. He's like, well, that doesn't sound like that. So he just started calling him Geddy. Then his mom literally leaned into the whole Geddy thing. That everybody just calls him Geddy.
So good.
So yeah, that is very true. And he's doing that tour for he has a new biography called My F in Life.
Yeah.
That's out now. So he's doing a book tour.
On my Christmas wish list.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to try some Rush beer on a recent trip to Canada. It was delicious. I think it's brewed by Henderson Brewing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rush beer.
Rush Ale, delicious.
Yeah, it's a golden ale, and they actually make a mustard with it now. Kozlik's, which is a company up there, and I just got 2 jars of it in my kitchen. So
Awesome.
What about you, Jay? What are you listening to? What are you spinning these days?
What am I spinning these days? Sparta, Wiretap Scars just turned 20. So I got
album.
all the limited vinyl. For that, our good friend Jim Ward, he was on the show. So that's where the band Sparta, he was in At the Drive-In. He was one of the founders of At the Drive-In. And when they split, he started Sparta. That's good. Maddie Zom, spelled Zahm, Maddie, Maddie Zom. She has a record called Now That I've Been Honest. It's brilliant. She's a Taylor player. She's just fantastic. I love it. A lot of metal lately. A lot of Converge. A lot of Cave In. For sure. Boy, the Blink record. I'm very proud of my friends for the Blink 182 record. Look, I'm wearing a Mark Hoppus hat. Man, what else have I been listening to? Ooh, the Taking Back Sunday record, 152, Dylan, is fantastic. I don't know
I
if
haven't
you've given
listened
it
to
a
it yet.
spin. It's so good. It's so good from top to bottom, from front to back, whatever you want to call it. It's just fantastic. I've been listening to a lot of stuff. And Jason Isabel, I was listening to that. Jeez. Chris Stapleton record is phenomenal. My goodness, there's so much good music this year.
Yeah,
I haven't been listening to a lot of Dave Matthews, though.
yeah,
to your detriment.
We can fix that.
well, my whole opinion on it is if there were no Dave Matthews records in my collection, my listening habits wouldn't change.
Well,
I
there's
mean,
that.
it's-
You know what? I listen to a lot of electronic music too. Good friend, Modern Machines just put out a record called New York, or an EP it's great. It's like a disco house record, throwback. It's awesome.
Look what
What's
I just
that,
bought.
Gabe?
Cigarettes.
Oh, such a good record. Have you ever seen them live? Cigaros?
I wish.
Really?
I
It was the
wish.
first show, Dolly Rockstar. Yes, good record.
Just bought that the same day I bought the others.
It was so cool seeing Sigur Rós live the first time, where they make you sit down. And it's not like it's like a don't stand up, please. And they're so good. They're unbelievable. Well, guys, you want to talk about this year in review?
Yeah, let's talk guitar.
Let
nerd
us
stuff.
review the year.
It's been 20 minutes and 12 seconds, and we haven't spoken about guitars yet.
It's been.
It's been.
Wow, someone called out that they saw the bare naked ladies.
I know. How lucky are they?
That'd be an awesome show.
They
are an awesome show.
Yeah,
They are an awesome show, and they're just
Taylor players.
own it.
Yep.
They own it so hard. They're so good. There's just, if you haven't had a chance to go see Bare Naked Ladies, that's like Weird Al, right? I tell people this all the time. Have any of you seen Weird Al live?
No, but I love Weird Al.
Please.
Yeah, he's rad.
Back me up, somebody in the feed over here. Weird Al live is life-changing, because the musicians that he surrounds himself with are so incredibly talented.
Oh yeah.
It's like, if Weird Al and Dave Matthews went on tour, I would have to see Dave Matthews Band, because I'm going to see Weird Al. You know what I mean?
The people who he's had play on his albums are like a who's who as well. I mean, there's
totally.
a lot of
a
lot of big names on there. I think like Rick Derringer played on some of his albums.
He's so good.
Every album's got like a polka song with like 9 different songs crammed into it, and it's always brilliant. Brilliant.
If Weird Al, Dave Matthews Band, and Bare Naked Ladies went on tour,
Take my money.
take my money.
Take all my money.
I grew up-
VIP.
And Rush,
I grew up watching VHS.
it would be the longest show ever, but
I grew up watching VHS, or UHF. Is it UHF?
UHF.
It's UHF.
UHF.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but yeah, UHF. All right, guitar nerd stuff.
all right, guitar nerd stuff.
Before people
Hey,
get-
smash that like
Into
button.
the nerd.
Smash that like button. right?
Smash
How
the
do you do
like
that?
button, yo.
Smash that like button. Downstairs. All right, let's do a 2023 recap real quick. And then let's talk. Then we're going to go into a wish list. We're going to help design each other's guitar wish lists
Ooh,
tonight,
let's do
live
it.
on the show.
Let's do it.
Man, we have had a busy year. I do have some clips I'm going to play. Okay. Gabe, I think we should show what the first thing we wanted to talk about was the new American Dreams. So, Mike, what did we do to the American Dreams series this year?
We changed them.
All right. Next. Just kidding. What else did we do?
Well, all right. So we just to let everybody know the way that we're going through this, I think the way we're going through this is in chronological order throughout the year when we introduce new items. That was the intent.
I
if
don't
that's how-
know if we're in the right order, because we put out 875,000 guitars this year.
We did.
So we're going to do our best.
We're doing our best. It's really close. Let's just say that.
Okay, it's
so
really close.
with the American Dream series, we introduced a Grand Theater into the line. In fact, we changed anything that was Grand Theater into an American Dream in that particular price point. So we had the AD11E Sunburst, the AD12E Sunburst, and the AD17E Sunburst. All three of those featured a spruce top and walnut sides and back, and they all had sunburst tops. Really affordable, all come with aero cases. So that's what we did with that particular series of instruments. In addition, we also bursted our mahogany
burst.
top versions.
Yeah.
So we did edge burst versions of our anything with a 2 in the middle. So AD22E, AD27E, they all got shaded edge burst treatment.
Bursted.
Hey,
boys.
the Guitar
Bursted
Life
with
would
free-
like a free Taylor guitar. You know, on our social, we give away
All the time.
all the time. We have sweepstakes.
Enter the drawing, homie.
We have drawings almost 6 times a year, almost, it seems. Every 2 months.
Seems that way.
Yeah. Mike, that was a great recap.
That was a great recap.
That was your American Dreams.
So Gabe and I and Rolly, who's no longer here, he worked with me on my team. We participated in making a really cool, fun piece of video content for the American Dream series. And I think, Gabe, it's only a minute long. Should we show them?
Sure, yeah. If you haven't
All right,
seen it, it's
this-
rad.
This is a cool little ad we did. It was pretty fun to make. We traveled around the United States to do this thing, and we call it Dreams. So
Scored
for the next
scored,
minute,
scored by the excellent Keith
Keith Goodwin. It was
also an
scored
American
by-
Dream player.
Yep, it was scored on American Dreams by an American Dream player. So let me find it somewhere. Where the heck is it? Oh, I found it. Found it. We'll be back in a minute. So that was our world premiere of that little piece right there. And this is where we say, hey, Daria, are you cool with that shot? Because we want to publish this live at some point. I think you and Ram looked great in that little segment. Gabe threw you in there just great.
There are some great
artists.
Great artists in there.
Yeah. There's some Easter eggs for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Jay and Rolly kind of traveled around the country and filmed a bunch of stuff. I filmed a few things in Detroit and other places, but yeah, there's a bunch of rad artists in there that I like quite a lot.
I didn't expect that, she says. Hey, I got more content with you guys in it. It's going to be really fun. Yes. Okay. What else did we do, Mike? Oh, so that was American Dreams.
Well, that was American Dream. Yep.
In the comments, let us know if you picked up one of the updated American Dreams.
Because they're amazing. They're incredible instruments. And
badly want several of them.
A lot of artists are loving. What was next? It's Mike's turn.
Chronologically, well, it's still my turn. I mean, if I did the first one, somebody else can go next, but I can go.
No, you're going. Dylan, you don't have to go. He's going.
Dylan put it all on the calendar. So next up, we did our new refreshed 400 series, which included again bursting those guitars. They developed a burst. We apply a sunburst finish on those guitars. Now they didn't grow a burst. The wood doesn't come with a burst. We added the burst, and then we changed the inlay package on it. And then we also added a new model. We added a 417E, which sounds astounding. That guitar is so good.
Time out. Do you have 30 seconds?
I do.
All right. Who says graphic designers can't be great guitar players? Ryan made that thing sound so good. It was super fun.
It's a really nice meaty sounding guitar too. If you like that kind of really thumpy rosewood, it sounds like a really, really rad old guitar to me.
Yeah, man.
Very percussive. Like even just the way he was strumming, you can really get some nice percussive elements out of it.
I had some artists. I had some pretty heavy hitter artists come by. Dylan, I had Frank from MyChem and Travis from Coheed come in. Coheed and Cambria come in on Friday, right? It was Friday last week, and of course, the first guitar they all gravitated to. What oddly enough, it was the 417. The 517, the 717, the 816. Yeah, they were like, what is this crazy thing? And then the 811. They love it. And then everything after that was like all the American Dreams. It was wild. Super fun time. Mike, Why is that guitar so good?
You know, because I think Andy Powers made it with some fairy dust and unicorn tears. I'm not sure. That guitar just really exudes volume.
Exudes.
It exudes tone. It's just really just a full rounded guitar overall. It gives you the more traditional projection that you get from a round shoulder dread, but you get the Taylor-esque take on it. So, and it's way easy to play on top of it. So you have all of those things, that confluence of items that really, you know, in a traditional item, bit of modern, bit of traditional, blending together just projects so well. I don't know if there's anything different about it or what. Interior, it's still V-class bracing. It's a Grand Pacific shape. So again, that round shoulder dreadnought thing, and of course that our version, our Grand Pacific, has a nice articulation in the low mid that you don't usually get out of a dreadnought style guitar. Maybe that's doing it for me. I don't know. That guitar is just special. It's a great, great model.
Dylan, what's your take on the 417, man?
When I first played it, I was like, oh my God, I think this is my new favorite Taylor. I love big body guitars, and I'm a big fan of the Grand Pacific shape. And with the 400 series, like Tonewood combo, it's match made in heaven. It's beautiful.
He did something right. He there's a little bit thicker finish on there. I know Andy gets into the science of it just a little bit, which kind of pushes those mids out so it warms it up. But we've actually, believe it or not, we like to A/B guitars all the time, and we A/B'd that guitar against a really, really, really good Gibson J45. And you know the story. When you find a good J45, this is from a guitar lover, buy it.
Mm-hmm.
When you find a good D18 or a good D28, buy it. Like, they're good guitars. You know, we love Taylors. We're here. We're Taylor guys. But at the end of the day, guitars are life, right? Guitar is life. Football is life. Anyway, it is that for us. And we put that against a really Tim Godwin has a remarkable J45. This thing is like, boy, oh boy. If he was in the mood to sell it, I would love to buy it, right? It's that good. And we put it in the same room, and that 417, oddly enough, different body wood. We get it. It's that J45 mahogany, right? Spruce top with mahogany. This does something in the mid-range that kind of just, it's wild. It fits. It's a little drier in the mid-range. That it's such a good guitar. Gabe,
it does have a weird like J45 or like they have the 45 Deluxe, which is is it the Deluxe? It's the Rosewood one. But it does have a bit of that J45 and also kind of like almost D28 low end. It's a weird, and not weird bad, but it's like a cross between those two things in that way. And it does have a bit of a, like, it's not as high fidelity top end. It's funny because the same woods and same body shape as a Builder's Edition 717, but they're distinctly different guitars. So it's just different. And both cool, both really rad guitars, but just different.
All right, let's keep going. Or it's gonna be like, it's already 33 minutes and 30 seconds, and
But
we're at least we're talking about guitars this time.
we are. We're in earlier. We're in earlier.
We're way
We're ahead of schedule.
way ahead of schedule. Mike,
Ever.
we also dropped some additional 500 series guitars this year, right?
Yeah, so we came out with the 512 CE and 514 CE last year, done in urban ironbark, and that was the introduction of our, second of the sustainable, urban woods. This one, urban ironbark, being a type of eucalyptus, and we paired those up with torrefied spruce tops, and they sound great. And so we decided to take it one step further this year and add some more models back into the 500 series. So we gave the 500 series a 12 fret. There's a 512 CE 12 fret now. We also brought in the 552 CE. So now there's a 12 string 12 fret in the 500 series. And they are both really great sounding guitars. Very easy to play, again, because of the compact nature of 12 frets. And of course, our 12 fret 12 strings are the easiest playing 12 strings out there. So this is no different. But you get that extra volume because urban ironbark is very, very dense. So it tends to project really loudly, but it mimics rosewood a lot in its EQ. So you're getting that combined with the torrefied spruce top to give you a little more warmth out of it in a smaller package. Really, really great guitars.
Forgive me. I'm gonna bounce around just a little bit. Gabe has had a chance to mix those guitars, haven't you? Right? You've done some.
I've been lucky enough to do that.
So Gabe does a lot of our audio mixing for us when we do demos and such. And talk to me. I'm gonna break over here and I'm gonna go into Wood and Steel because there's a video of Andy Hull from Manchester Orchestra playing one of the Manchester Orchestra songs on a 552, and I'm gonna put it in the comment section over here. Gabe, what do you like about ironbark as an audio engineer? Because that's where I love it. I love it. Like studio guitar. I mean, it's a fantastic guitar. I love ironbark. I'm going to say it. It's heavier. It's dense. It feels valuable in your hands. But as a studio guy, what do you like about urban ironbark?
I think Mike does a really good job giving a description of what it does well. I think as somebody who's traditionally always been like a big mahogany nerd, when it was announced, I was like, oh, that's a departure. And that for me, some people, hear that departure of Tonewoods that it's going a different direction and they immediately go, no, why would you? And I immediately get curious when, somebody like Andy Powers finds something and says, I want to take this direction. This seems really cool. I'm like, oh, that must be awfully special. And that kind of was my initial reaction. So I love going into picking up anything new. And like you said, it's heavier, it's dense, it's got its own kind of vibe. I think it's just such an interesting wood traditionally in guitar woods. And Mike, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this for sure. I've always thought of tone woods as the darker the tone wood, the darker the sound. And
that's sort of nature's cheat sheet.
Yeah. But there are a couple of times I've found that that turns out to not really be true. Sassafras is not a bright sounding wood specifically. It's much closer to like a rosewood or something than you would think.
But it's
urban
super
ironbark,
fun to say.
Yeah, it is. And urban ironbark too. It looks a lot like mahogany, but it's not. It's very much its own vibe. It's got a much more, kind of pronounced low end. That roll off that you find in mahogany isn't there. So as a studio guitar, I think it's really interesting. It's got its own vibe. Traditionally in the studio, you'll hear, there we go. We're nerds.
There we go.
We're
John,
funny nerds.
John, you know what? We got to take a pause real quick, and we got to give you a shout out. Everybody high five John. John, if
John
you've never
rules.
seen this show before, you get it. You're the man. Thank you. We try so hard, but we're just idiots. However, this has always been our goal, guys. We have actually succeeded at Primetime.
We just won Primetime.
We won Primetime.
I think we can just close up early, gang.
Yeah.
I think
No.
we earned it.
No, because Ken said we've got time. So
Oh, good. Okay.
And I'm only halfway through the year.
Speaking of that,
This is time traveling.
Sorry, I cut you off, Gabe, but that
No, you're fine.
had to be said.
All I was saying is, as a studio guitar, you traditionally hear the kind of dry mahogany used, for those kind of down the middle strummy sounds, and you hear rosewood used for the kind of out to the side sparkly stuff. And I feel like this guitar can kind of hold all of that ground by itself if you want it to. It's a really, really interesting wood. It's kind of it's a very best of both worlds, happy medium. In that way, it's a little, it sonically, it doesn't sound anything like maple. I want to preface by saying this. In that way, it can be a little bit like, Andy always talks about maple being really player reflective. And I find the urban ironbark a little more player reflective. But it does have more overtones than you would get out of like maple, like considerably more.
Break that down. Player reflective. I'm going to simplify that. Ready? Player reflective. If you're good, you sound good. If you're not that good, you might not sound that good. Meaning it's very transparent.
Yeah,
Right.
maple is super transparent, whereas rosewood has a really distinct sound. It's got that big boomy low end. Even if you play it with a paper thin pick, rosewood sounds like rosewood, you know. So urban ironbark to me feels a little more player reflective than traditionally rosewood or traditionally mahogany, while still having those overtone attributes. It's very cool. It can kind of be a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is attributable to its density. I really do, because you know it is
John
a
said he
reflective
was
surface.
dense.
So
John said, "I'm dense. Should I get ironbark?"
Yes,
Yes.
the denser you
I wanna
are,
add-
the denser your guitar.
I
So
want to and
that's-
John Lord. What a great guy! Shout out to John and Phyllis. They were able to come visit in this break here at the Taylor factory. It was great. Got to
Oh,
meet
that's rad.
John and his wife and his brother, and it was his brother's 75th birthday on the day. It was just really, really special. I'm grateful for that.
That's the dream, right?
Yeah, let's answer this. So there was a couple of questions. Yes. For a very long time, the mahogany series, if you will, was the 500 series. We used to make cedar top 500s with mahogany back and sides. We used to make an all mahogany guitar. Andy wanted to move all mahogany into the 300 series. So anything that starts with a 300, then a 2 would be hard top. So 324 CE would be a grand auditorium with a cutaway and electronics, but with a hard top. So the 314 CE would be a spruce top. The 324 CE would be a mahogany top. So
yes,
Andy felt, we've heard him, we've asked this question a lot. Andy felt that mahogany needed to be in a more player-friendly price point. And that is one of the reasons. He also just really likes it in the 300 series. And so we do too. Right? Am I right on that, Mike? Pretty right.
pretty right. Yeah, I mean, that's it's a wood for the masses, really. I mean, it's the typical sound of guitar. So why not make it more attainable for everyone? You know. But yeah, traditionally, the 500 series was our mahogany series. Period.
Right.
It was for years and years and years and years and years. But being that it's our company, we can do what we want, and we change things up every now and again. And this is one of the things that changed up, especially with our dedication to being good custodians of the forest. So, and finding different woods that work and that are musical and that you can make into instruments. So therefore,
And creators
urban ironbark.
Creators are creators. You got Andy
Yep.
Powers, who looks at every tree and jokingly will say, "I undress the tree and find guitars in it." You have Bob Taylor and Andy, who also think at the same, it's yin, yin to one's yang, right? Bob and Andy both believe we need to be good stewards of the forest. We need to allow the forest to kind of dictate what we're going to make. We're not just going to keep battering the forests and taking exactly what we want to use, and that's it. We're going to try new things. We are definitely going to try new things and different wood pairings. And the ironbark stuff is fantastic. I love it. I think we should move on to
One of my favorites of this year.
the guitar.
The
Go
guitar.
for it, Mike.
If there was the guitar of the year in my mind, as much as I love that 417, in April, we introduced, well, all right, let's just say that the 814 CE has been the guitar that Taylor's been known for, right?
Well, let's just
say that. I mean, if there's anybody who walks into a store and says, I've never tried a Taylor guitar before, the first guitar I'm putting in your hand is an 814 CE. Why? It's our grand auditorium shape. It's a traditional tone wood package. It has great workmanship, wonderful woodworking on it, and it is the guitar that we are known for. Really, that's the one that really put us, on the map over the past 30 years or so. Has really been that guitar. So, and because of that, we've called it our flagship, things of that nature, all different things. Well, we decided to make it better. if you want to look at it that way. Over the years, the 814 CE has gone through different permutations. A couple of years ago, we added the radius armrest to it, which made it even more comfortable to play. All these things that we've added onto the instrument. But rewind back to 2018, we started something called the Builder's Edition. And the Builder's Edition series of guitars has all the player appointments that one would want in a guitar, or at least that Andy Powers thought everybody would want in a guitar, because they're all the things that he felt he wanted in a guitar when he was playing on a regular basis, like fully beveled armrest, a contour cutaway with a contour heel, Godot tuners, a curved bridge, things of that nature that all accentuate the playing capabilities, the comfort in playing of those guitars. And in April, we decided to take our 814 CE and make a Builder's Edition. And that's the Builder's Edition 814 CE. Big shot.
Hey, you got a minute?
Oh, yeah.
What about a minute and 11 seconds?
I think we all have that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Builder's Edition 814 CE.
Somebody had asked in the comments a minute ago, what rosewood guitar would you recommend? That one.
Yeah, that one.
That one or the 417.
Now,
yeah.
Mike, there's another really unique thing about that guitar too.
There's a couple of other unique things that are about that guitar. Now, in comparison to the rest of the Builder's Edition series, one thing you'll notice is that guitar is gloss. And our other Builder's Editions are all satin finish. But Andy preferred to have the gloss on this guitar because it really shows off the woodworking on it.
Yeah, the woodworking.
It looks so good, and that gloss really just makes it pop. But one thing that at first glance you may not notice that was added to this guitar is it has a different top. And that top is an Adirondack spruce top as opposed to Lutz spruce or Sitka spruce, which we use on a lot of our other guitars. But yes, that has Adirondack spruce. And not only does it have Adirondack spruce, it's a 4-piece Adirondack spruce top. And that's because we're seeing the sweeping cutting of forests and the writings on the wall. And we figured we'd get out ahead of this too. And so we committed to doing 4-piece tops on these Builder's Edition guitars, because we stand behind it and they sound amazing, as you just heard.
Interestingly, we love to lead. Yep. We're innovators. We love to lead the industry into the new generation. And now you're starting to see other brands talk about 4-piece tops because it's the wood that we can get, and it's the best wood. We do it a little bit differently. And it also in the same, I linked earlier in the feed here, the wood and steel episode or issue. We talked about this in the first wood and steel issue of the year, right, Gabe?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'll find the link for that and I'll put that in there. But Gabe got to go up to Pacific Rim Tone Woods and sit with Bob Taylor and Scott Paul and Steve McMinn and Eric Warner from PRT, and they had a nice little discussion about 4-piece tops and the state of spruce. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and I highly recommend people go back and both read the article and watch the embedded videos in it. There's some very interesting stuff about, Bob Taylor has actually talked for years about wood and steel that 4-piece tops are coming. They are going to happen, and he's been really open about it for at least 10 years that I know of. I've read him, saying that. But it was really interesting talking to those guys about the state of spruce today. And also about, you know, how using 4-piece tops has allowed them to, and there's some great illustrations of it actually in the videos of how making 4-piece top guitars allows them to recover excuse me, loads of wood that otherwise the pieces would be too small to make a top out of. So they're perfectly good wood, but they're just, because they have to cut around an imperfection or a knot or something, that wood would end up as brace wood or binding or who knows what else. It's just too small. And there's always tons of wood for brace wood. That's not an issue, but the ability to take that and then make valuable tops out of it to put on really nice guitars is super cool. And we're also seeing, other manufacturers are now talking about 4-piece tops. So, oh, hey, Gordon says hello from St. Clairsville, Ohio. Hello from Millersburg, Ohio, Gordon. So, that whole opportunity to go and, go up there and see firsthand what those guys are doing, and learn more from those experts was like taking a masterclass in forestry and woodworking and how to use things to their best ability. It was pretty amazing. My assistant Chris went with me, and we both came away it was gobsmacked at how much people are doing that we didn't know about. I know Bob and Scott Paul had just talked about getting back from like a CITES conference that they went to, and it's wild how involved these people are on a very big level.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, we're not the only ones that use wood, that's for sure.
We are not the only ones that use wood, but we want to make sure that we are being responsible for
If
sure.
I can, I want to.
Nope.
I have to. Carrie has been, and I love our chat because it's like the most rad, helpful place in the world. But Carrie's been asking for some guitar suggestions. So, Carrie, you have a bunch of guitar nerds here, in a district sales manager. If you have questions, you can always, we can answer these. Your daughter's 14, an Academy series would be a great choice. And there's all kinds of other great guitars, but yeah, you can reach out to us.
I also love recommending the Mini because, sorry, I was letting my dog down. Because even as, if you start with the Mini, it's easy because it's 7/8 scale. So I like that it's a little smaller, easier to get around if you're a smaller person or a younger person. But then as you graduate, you'll still want to keep that Mini even after you've got another full-size guitars. It's great to take around. Versus getting sometimes a less expensive full-size guitar that you'll kind of want to upgrade very soon. Plus, a lot of less expensive full-size guitars are really tough to play versus the GS Mini, which is the easiest guitar to play. So anyway, I love recommending GS Minis.
Yeah, I like recommending the Builder's Edition 814 guitar because you'll get great a lot faster.
There's the best playing guitar I've ever played, I think.
Carrie was asking for themselves and also their daughter, and yes, Builder's Edition 814 would be a great option. But yeah, GS Mini is rad. Academy series would be good to check out too.
But there's still a give one gift one.
Yep.
Oh, that's still going on.
Right. So
yeah.
If you go to a retailer, a tailor dealer, a lot of them, most of them, right? I would say, Mike, are participating.
Yes, participating. Yep.
In a give one, gift one, get one, gift one, get one, gift one.
Get one, gift one.
Yes, that's it.
This is a
lot of G's. G.
Yes.
Anyway, and you know what? I don't want to botch it. Mike, what is the sales pitch on a give one, get one, give one?
All right. Well, if Jay ever got the name right,
get one, gift one.
I'm on the marketing team. I made some of the content for it. I'm apologizing in advance.
So the get one, gift one deal runs from now until January 15th. And the way it works is if you purchase any 200 series or up instrument, you can purchase, and this is for our USA people, you could purchase a GS Mini for $199 or a Baby Tailor for $99 in addition to the guitar that you purchase. So it's something that we're sponsoring, and you get that from the dealer, and they'll take care of you. And you walk away with 2 guitars because why buy one when you can buy 2? So
let's go back to that Mini real quick. There's a couple of schools of thought here. I'm going to go back to the question at hand.
Yeah.
I often say to parents buying to their kids, for their kids, get them into the biggest guitar that they can handle, because at some point they're going to grow into a full-blown adult. So the bigger it is, sometimes they can grow around that. Now, the argument is every guitar player on the planet needs a GS Mini. So they're both good choices. The Academy series, like we've been talking about, is really great, but a GS Mini, you just can't go wrong. I'm a big giant human, and I love playing my GS Mini.
Do you guys know what the best day of the year is?
GS Mini Day.
# new guitar day. But you know what's even better? 2 guitar day.
You
You buy one and you grab another one. Best day of the whole year.
That might have been the cleverest thing you've ever said, Dylan. You win the prize for clever.
Dylan's on the marketing team now.
He's on the marketing team now. All right, what else do we got? Oh,
All right, moving on. Ooh.
Go for it. It's been 55 minutes, dude.
Yeah, well, now we got to accelerate because the year's coming to a close.
And
here.
I got content that I'm going to world premiere right now. I'm going to world premiere some content.
World it.
Next up, over the summer, and we've been working on this for a while, we did a reimagining of our T5z. Now, those of you that have these guitars, you know what their capabilities are. They have electric and acoustic properties to them as far as the sounds coming out of the instrument. They, do a really good job of getting you different sounds of different guitars that you're familiar with. I call it the, Swiss Army knife of guitars in a lot of way. And I can't really say Swiss Army knife because they'll sue us, but I just said it twice. Anyway, yeah, it's the multi-tool of guitars.
It's the beacon of guitars.
Yes, it is the beacon of guitars, and we'll talk about the beacon in a minute. But it does everything really, really well. Electric guitar, acoustic guitar sounds. I like it because I can sit in front of my computer, and I use my computer as a scratch pad for recording. And if I want just different sounds, I hook that up through my amp emulator, and I just get tons of different sounds just by switching the toggle. So T equals, thin line, 5 equals a 5-way toggle switch. Each one's going to give you something different. And it's a great, wonderful utilitarian tool to use for creating music. Now,
utilitarian tool would be a good band name. We should play a clip.
Band name.
Can we play a clip real quick? I'm so excited to play. None of you have seen this.
Before.
But wait, it gets worse.
Wait, no.
Okay.
Before. We did a couple of things. The functionality has not changed of the instrument.
Functionality.
But that's not a band name. But in the clip, you're going to notice some aesthetic changes that really help the experience when playing the T5z. So now you can roll the clip.
All right. No, you haven't seen this. Only 3 of us, 2 people in the feed, and this person here have seen this.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't even seen it. Oh, man. You ready? It's not out yet.
I haven't, right? I don't know what it is.
No, you haven't. World premiere. No supers. No branding, Gabe. World premiere.
That's the thing that makes it. It's awesome. I love it. Okay, this is the guitar by itself. So if we pull up the plugin that I use, and we'll just turn it on.
That's so good.
My head is exploding over here.
I need
Right.
one.
I mean, that is the T5Z Pro and Custom. And that sums it up. It's Daria once said, we're in a conversation, actually a piece of content that she said, the T5Z is like a laptop for a producer, right? Like it's just everything you need. I've had these conversations to talk about Manchester Orchestra again. Andy Hall hit me up one day and said, dude, I'm going to send you a song. Don't let anyone hear it. He goes, but everything in there is just the 5-way selector switch. So all he did was go to different settings and make different passes and wrote an entire song with, I mean, the guitars were pretty much dry and it's just beautiful. Super cool. I love that guitar.
Yeah, we've always loved the functionality, but what we did with the T5Z Pro and Classic now, I'm sure everybody saw. First off, on the lower bout, it now has a bent armrest. The top is bent in a more comfortable armrest style position. And also we moved all the control knobs that were on the upper bout, the volume, treble, and bass, and moved them down to the lower bout in a more traditional place for an electric guitar. So it's more familiar if you're an electric guitar player, being able to change all the controls, everything that you're doing when you're live on stage or when you're in the studio, and giving some extra comfort again with the bent top on it. So it really does accentuate the playing experience. And as you can tell, we removed an F-hole too in order to do that. So it gives it a different aesthetic look, but moreover, it is even that much easier to play.
Yeah, they're really, really cool.
I love the controls being on the bottom. Great move. And the armrest is one of those things where I tell people, like, if you don't have a guitar with an armrest, once you have one, it'll change your whole view on them. Like, it's the best. So comfy. I don't know. People don't realize how, like, I mean, your arm kind of weighs a little bit, so when you have it resting on top of a guitar, after a while, it really does start to dig in and feel like a nuisance. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Sorry.
I know that's a good soapbox to stand on. Daria, Ram, you guys crushed that one. Ram is such a brilliant musician. It's it's so fun working with them, working with you guys. And I mean, I often give them, I send them, my creative brief for Ram and Daria is, I'm going to send you a couple of guitars. I want you to open them up and then make whatever comes to mind. And that's what happened.
That never happens to me.
No, I don't send you guitars anymore. You just edit everything and mix everything. Yeah. Well, you know what? You got some stuff back there I can see.
Got a few things.
Yeah, I see a couple of things back there. Anyway, thank you guys for making that wonderful piece of content. We will also premiere that in its own link at some point on YouTube coming up. We love it. Mike, we got 2 more guitars to talk about, and then
we got 2 more guitars. We have a tool, and then a little sprinkle.
There we go.
And so right back to back in October, November-ish, we introduced 2 more guitars. One of them was building upon the American Dream series, and this was an AD24 CE. Now, why?
Too bad we don't have a clip for this. I thought we had a clip.
We don't have a clip, huh?
No, we don't have a clip, but we'll let it go. We'll let it out.
I'll describe it. So it is a mahogany top, American Dream guitar that is matte finished, but it's the first American Dream guitar in our grand auditorium shape. And not only that, it's the first American Dream guitar with a cutaway. So for a very accessible price point, you're getting an all solid wood, USA made Taylor guitar in our most famous shape with electronics. So, and a cutaway for that matter. So you're getting a lot of value in the guitar. You're getting everything you need. All the American Dream guitars were built, by the tenet of everything you need and nothing you don't. There's not anything fancy or flashy on it. You're not paying for inlays. You're not paying for fancy tuners. You're paying for good tuners. You're paying for a well-built, solid wood guitar. And that's what American Dream brings you. And now it brings it to you in our most famous, most popular shape with a cutaway as well.
And the water-based finish is what has me. I love the water-based
Yeah, the matte finish on those is great.
It's so thin and it's open, and those guitars just resonate. And believe it or not, the American Dream series, back to that first thing we showed you, the American Dream series are heavy hitters with artists.
Yeah, they love them.
They're not too precious to take on tour.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Grammer, Ed Robertson, Bare Naked Ladies, both play blacktops, AD-17 blacktops. Who else? Balancing Exposure. Hey, Dylan.
I
John
almost used them
Simmons
as my
plays an.
album
Jo-
I was listening to.
There you go. John Simmons plays an AD-17 burst. It's so remarkable. Geez. I mean, Anthony Green. I mean, all these people just grab these guitars. They gravitate to these guitars. They love these guitars. American Dreams, there's some hits in there. Again, they're not so precious.
They're
You
like
can take 'em.
player guitars, you know.
They
They're
are
meant to be really
absolutely
played.
player guitars.
Yep, 100%. And again, very versatile too. They sound great in the studio. They sound great live.
Oh,
they sound
totally.
great everywhere. So, at being at a more accessible price point. So,
All right, Mike.
That was the newest American Dream. And remember, I told you earlier in April we introduced the magnificent Builder's Edition 814 CE. Well, just about 6 weeks ago, we introduced. Was it even 6 weeks ago? I don't even think it was 6 weeks ago. I think it was more like 4 weeks ago. We introduced the Builder's Edition 814 CE Blacktop. So now there's a real stealthy looking version of that guitar, and it's beautiful. I mean, I didn't think that it could look more beautiful.
It's
and
elegant.
Yeah,
It's
it
elegant.
totally
It's
is.
elegant.
Mhm.
It's like a
It's-
tuxedo. It's rad.
Totally. Do we have any pictures of that, Jay?
I probably could find some.
It's all over the socials. If you go
Yeah,
later
it's
to
definitely
Taylor's
all over the socials.
on the website, it's gorgeous.
We have some video content coming of it.
If
but-
you're in the Taylor Guitars owners group, there are some members who have posted pictures because it's been very popular. Folks have been buying it up, and it's super cool.
And you don't
It
even
is-
need to be in a Johnny Cash cover band.
No, it is so beautiful. The Builder's Edition 814 CE is blacktop, is one of the most beautiful looking guitars I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And I mean, I had a chance to play one on Friday, and I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. It's the best playing guitar I think I've ever played, and I'm not like electric, acoustic. It just feels like your fingers are like it's like the guitar is telling you where to play. It's amazing.
Yeah. It plays. It has all the notes too.
It definitely
all of
has
them.
all the notes.
And they all ring very true.
Yeah. They
You
came,
know what?
they
No,
came pre-installed.
all
it was
the
good.
notes.
Yeah.
You know, we have like one more thing, a couple more things to talk about, and then we're going to go into our wish list, which is going to be fun to do.
Yeah.
But I would say the Blacktop Builder's Edition 814 CE is it. I like it better than the natural top.
Yeah.
Simply because there's a tiny bit more compression on that top. That's just with that finish on there, that just adds this sweetness. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. All right,
It's like
all right.
slightly more dynamic because of that. I think it's just. I don't know. It's just a little different. But if somebody gave me a natural Builder's Edition 814 CE, I'm not crying.
No,
I'm definitely
not
not crying.
Not at all.
So,
Okay.
Last but not least, we have.
Wait.
Oh,
Do we even need to tell them? Let's just show them, man.
yeah.
All right, here we go.
Do that.
You guys got a minute?
Yeah.
How about 30 seconds?
Okay.
I just went backwards. That's wild. It's not a tuner.
Nope. It is not a tuna at all.
I knew that was coming. You just couldn't avoid it.
How could you not? Yeah.
It's an
people say-
accessory.
It is. It's an all-in-one tool that replaces a lot of things in your gig bag when you're walking
Like
around
a
and doing your gigs.
flashlight.
It has it's a tuner, it's a metronome, it has a countdown timer, it has a standard timer, and it has a flashlight that you can clip onto your music stand and use that as a light. It also is USB-C rechargeable, and you get about 7 hours on a charge. So it lasts a while, and it replaces everything else in your bag, and you don't need to keep buying batteries and et cetera, and so forth. And it's great, not just, I want to say this because it's not just made for a guitar player. You know, this is great for a lot of different musicians and musical instruments, especially if you play violin or ukulele or
Same.
things like that. It applies across the board. I would say it does lend itself more towards stringed instruments.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can use the other four functions. Like, you're not going to put it on your saxophone to tune it, but you can use the other four functions, you know, absolutely. And it's great to just have this all-in-one tool that gets everything that gives you everything you need to be successful as a musician, especially as a gigging musician.
Doesn't work on my flugelhorn. I'm out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, flugelhorns not so much. French horns, no. And
Kristen's
good luck on
gonna
a
say
sitar.
no. Yeah, Kristen's gonna say no because it doesn't work on the bassoon.
It doesn't work on the bassoon.
No,
I was
it
going to
doesn't work on
say,
a bassoon, no.
I was just going to say, that's so, we should try. No, it is really cool. And, you know, we
Yeah.
got a lot of slack. I look at social media and people just start to, let's talk about Hug Your Haters real
You
quick.
need hugs.
Oh, yeah.
There's been some good comments. And I want you to know that sometimes when we see negative comments, we turn it into a positive. I'm not going to say we love negative comments. No one likes negativity. But sometimes people don't actually try something, right?
So
It's-
often.
So often people are like, they hear somebody say that, I don't know, it's terrible. It's
so
a bad
often-
idea. No one needs a flashlight.
So often
Says-
when any new thing comes out, you know how often I've been at a gig and needed a flashlight? Like,
I know.
always. Like-
Or, I mean, when it's dark on stage and you're looking in your case and you're trying to find
Right.
a pick,
You dropped your pick, you snapped a string, you need a tool. Like,
Yeah.
you need one all the time.
Yeah, I love it. Anyway, it's a tuner. We made a tuner. You guys want to make wish lists? I think we sprinkled enough earlier, Mike. What do you think? We were going to
Well,
sprinkle.
I mean, let's re-sprinkle. So yes, again, I'm sure that everybody has heard and everybody is well aware that, you know, for years, Andy Powers has been developing an electric guitar, and that came to fruition this year, and there'll be more to say about it next year for sure. Especially
if
when
you
we do an
guys are
episode on it.
interested, you can go to Powers Electric Guitars, I think is the
PowersElectricGuitars.com.
Yeah, powerselectricguitars.com, and you can hear more of the story. We will have Andy on sometime next year to talk about it a little bit more, but he's busy building guitars. So that's a good thing. We love it when our top dog, our chief, our CEO, president, chief guitar designer we love it when he's building guitars and creating new stuff. So that's what he's doing. He's very busy building guitars, and he is hands-on with those Powers Electric guitars, just like he is hands-on at Taylor.
Yep.
So that is our year in review. I think it's time to put together a guitar a day wish list.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Guitar a day. Do you see how he did that? Play on
Trademark
words,
it.
like holiday guitar a day. Oh, he's got a. Of course, you have a Santa hat.
It does
Well-
nicely match the pug shirt.
It does. Again, I won't be wearing red much. But
I appreciate the balance of your hat being the opposite side of the pug's flop.
yeah, it adds to overall symmetry.
Yeah, that's
you know, if I
that's
fall on
sitting
my
well with me.
side, the puffs are equal if I fall on my side.
yeah. I feel good
Okay.
about that.
Jay,
Okay,
Gabe, and I are all humbugs, and you're the
Yeah, we're-
festive one, Mike.
we're in the spirit right now, but I'm hanging out with my friends over here in the feed who I can't see. I don't know. They may all be in festive gear. We did not get the festive notes, guys.
Well, Tomo
Anyway.
seems to think red suits me, so I'm a big fan. So thank you.
Tomo is a badass. I love this dude. Tomo, I am so grateful you're watching and hanging out with us right now. He is
Ken is the
ridiculous
first
artist.
person who's ever made this comment.
Yeah. And by balanced, he
so
means
good.
tip ring sleeve, not
Yeah.
mentally.
Line
So
level.
good.
Hey, the guitar queen's wearing pink.
Properly
That's
grounded.
pretty awesome. All right. Here we go. You guys, this is how this is going to work. We're going to go around in a circle. We're going to do one. So we're going to go Dylan, Gabe, Mike, then me. I'll pick last. It's going to be, I want you to pick two guitars from your wish list, two guitars from the list above. So 2 guitars that we made this year and released this year as Taylor guitars. 1 guitar, and the next round is going to be 1 guitar from the Taylor line that might not have been made this year, and then 1 non-Taylor guitar.
Oh,
This is going
rad.
to be really exciting. And guys, please, please, please play the game with us in the feed. This is going to be so exciting.
It's gonna
Dylan,
be so cool.
I need 2 guitars for your wish list from the list above, and tell us why you love them.
Oh man, this is an easy one for me. Builder's Edition 814 CE Blacktop, because 1, it's the best playing guitar I've ever played. 2, it looks amazing. 3, it's very versatile, dynamic, great on stage and studio. Any use you can have for an acoustic guitar, that will fulfill it. And then secondly, T5z Pro, because I need to get myself in the T5z game. I want one. I need one. I want an instrument that I can take to a gig and just quickly flip a switch and toggle between acoustic and electric sort of situation. So, and it does both beautifully, and that is probably going to be my next Taylor. So those are the 2. Easy.
What color would you get?
Of the T5?
Because there's a red one, right? There's a red one, a blue one.
Cayenne red, Harbor
I like
blue.
I like the Cayenne red. Yeah, the Harbor blue is sharp too, though. I'm a fan
I
of
love
blue
the
guitars.
Harbor blue. Oh my God, that color blue is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, color blue is pretty
There's
tight.
something about blue guitars, and that one fits the bill quite nicely. Yeah,
That's
so anyway,
one that
those,
they were playing in the video. They were playing the Harbor blue one.
Yeah,
in
and then the
video.
custom. That's the
and then the
custom color.
T5Z custom, the custom Koa. Yes.
All right, Gabriel.
To answer Alex's question, no, we're both
Yes,
just
they are
handsome,
related.
handsome gentlemen with graying beards. That's all.
Okay, they're
so
related.
Yes.
Two guitars
not
out of this. We're not. But we've been friends for a long time.
Yes.
2 guitars out of this list that I have to have. This is really hard. I
I know, Mike, when we were planning
Those
this,
are
we were like, 2. We
really
got to play
hard.
2. He's like, "Hey, we should do 3." I'm like, no, we got to make it hard
you're
on
right.
ourselves.
You're right.
This is brutally hard.
417.
Um,
Ugh.
I know, like it's hard not to pick an 814. I have an 814 over there. The Builder's Edition is rad, but I'm gonna go with, I think the 8017 Burst. I love that guitar. I love Walnut, and it's just a really rad, like understated guitar. I also love the black tops, but I think for me and my little collection, I think I would pick the Burst there. And I think if it has to be off this list, I'm gonna go with the 517.
Nice.
I have a Builder's Edition 517. The new 517 is just such a different flavor. And would love to just be able to play them side by side and kind of compare that.
Awesome.
There's furious typing. I just said something dumb.
I know.
No,
Jay's over there like,
did it.
Gabe,
Going into the private
he's
chat,
messaging
what's
me.
happening?
Yeah.
So those
Did
are my
you hear
2
what Gabe
picks
said?
out of this specific list.
I agree
This
with you,
is
Gabe.
such
Those
a fun game.
500s are very different, and I love them both. The new ones are great too.
Yeah, I mean anything out of the new 500s I think is rad. Like I don't know. I might change it up. I have an original 514 over there, so I might say that. That's been a mainstay in my collection for a long time. I might change it to a 514 now. Like it's so hard to pick. There's a bunch of good stuff here. So I'm gonna switch it. 217 sounds dumb. I'm gonna go with the 8017 and the 514.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I got wishy-washy there, sorry.
But the 514 came out last year, so you screwed it up anyway.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that,
just,
yeah, it came
I'm
out
just
last year.
failing. I'm just failing all year round.
This is just not working out with Gabe. Yeah. It's from the list above. We didn't even talk about that.
You
guitar.
can't take me anywhere.
All right, but we're fine. Mike, you go with your turn.
Well, Gabriel didn't give us one from. Are we just doing
We give
Taylor
him
ones now?
512.
It's supposed to be from this
Oh
list,
yeah, we're doing
but
the
I've
yeah, that's
failed
right. Yeah, yeah.
drastically.
All right. So from this list, I'm gonna mimic Dylan on this one. Do the Builder's Edition 814 CE, either black top or natural top. I'll take either one. I'll prefer the black top. but then I need to wipe off the fingerprints. But that's okay. I'd rather
Super
do
true.
that. That's worth doing on this guitar, you know? So definitely for all the reasons that you mentioned, Dylan, and for everything that we talked about earlier. And then the second one is hard to pick because there are so many good ones that came out this year. But for me, the 417E would be the second one for sure. Because I just was blown away with how good that guitar sounded.
Yep. There you go. There's my answer. My answer, it would be a 417. Absolutely. No questions asked. 417. Boom. And then, man, from this list, Builder's Edition 814. I mean, I'm sorry to jump on the bandwagon here, but Builder's Edition 814, both either blacktop or natural, I would lean towards the blacktop. I like it just a little bit more.
It's really hard to pick because there were so many good models that came out this year. Like the 8024 CE, that's absolutely not a slouch of a guitar. That's
No.
a killer guitar. And a T5Z with the bent arm, the bent armrest, the bent top, so much more comfortable to play. Not like the T5Z was uncomfortable to play. It's just that much more comfortable to play.
The AD12E
Another great guitar.
is one of my most favorite Taylors ever made. I mean,
Yeah.
the guitar is remarkable. Okay, let's go into the next round.
I will try to do the next round better. I swear.
Yeah, you do the next
Okay.
round better.
There you go.
Poor Gabe. You're all right, buddy.
Dylan, what other guitar from the Taylor line would you choose? It could be from this list above, but we just wanted to. What other guitars would you grab?
I mean, to be honest with you, I actually would go back to this list because I felt like the 417 was a void that I left in my previous list. So I would probably rope that one in. If I had to go outside this list, I'd probably throw a curveball and go with the GS Mini E-Bass because I just feel like I need one of those too. They're awesome.
Dude, yes.
Good pick.
If you don't have a GS Mini E bass, get one.
In maple. Yeah.
I like them. You know what? I like maple. I like the maple
For the
a
bass,
lot.
I love the Koa on the bass
Koa's
sounds
good.
really nice too.
It's hard to go wrong, but yeah. Wow. Okay, Gabe.
I'm so
Do
excited.
this
that
one
Bamber's
better.
in the
Gabe.
feed. I can do this one better. This one is easy for me because I've been wanting this guitar since I played one. I was on a shoot at I don't know, somewhere, but the 724 CE.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Fantastic.
The first time I love Koa, it's a rad wood, but I usually don't enjoy it as a top wood as much. A lot of people love it. For me and my playing style, it usually doesn't work. That's the first time I've ever picked up a Koa top guitar and just had it like absolutely sing. It's perfect. I love it, and I badly want one. My runner-up is somebody mentioned this in the feed, but my runner-up, there was a limited American Dream baritone that came out earlier that I've been like, you know, looking around at all my dealer friends to see who's got one, and you know, kind of trying to maybe score one of those. Those are pretty rad too. But if I had to pick one, 724.
Great choice.
All right, Mike, your turn. Mike.
Very easy. I've mentioned this multiple times on Prime Time. The 618E is probably one of the most underrated guitars that we make. It is probably one of
Can
the
we
best
say
sounding.
boom?
Yeah. It is one of the best sounding guitars that we make because the maple brings out some of the brighter portions of the guitar. The size of the grand orchestra brings out all the low end that you could possibly need. And combined, it's just phenomenal the amount of tone that you can get out of that guitar without it being so super unwieldy like some other larger bodied guitars. So for me, 618E without a doubt just would definitely take that.
It's so good.
It really is.
Yeah, that guitar, they nailed that one.
It is so good. That guitar is so good. Goodness gracious.
People sleep on it too. People sleep on the 618.
This
Yep,
is so
they do.
hard. When we decide to do these episodes, we're like making lists. It's done.
Checking them twice.
I don't like these episodes because they're hard, and I don't like. Man, we did 95 things. That's hard. But this is really hard because here's what I'm up against, guys. So maybe I could I'm going to ask some advice. I'm going to ask the feed to help with this one. Here are my choices. The 326 baritone 8, right? The 326E baritone 8.
Barry 8. Yep.
Yeah, that one, because who doesn't need a baritone? I like the 3 for me a little bit. It's a little bit even heavier. The 811, you know how I feel about that 811. That GT is such a fantastic instrument. That one in particular is just magical. And then, boy, I'm going to say, man, we have so many good guitars. This is a bummer. I'm going to say a T5z Pro. Any color, but probably leaning towards the blue. So of those 3 guitars, guys, help me pick which one. 811, the baritone 8, or the T5z Pro. Go for it. Now we have a delay, see? We got to wait for it. What would you guys choose?
Barry 8.
Barry?
I would pick the baritone.
I didn't realize I needed a baritone until I had a chance to play one recently. And it was delightful. I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. I'd never it's like playing a 12 string for the first time. It's like, this is great. And I felt the same sort of sensation playing a baritone, an 8 string for the first time. I was like,
Look at this. Look at this. It's all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
It's all over the place.
Oh, did I go back?
I love it though.
T5Z, baritone, 811. You need a baritone.
T5Z, baritone.
You need a T5Z.
It's going in order. It just keeps repeating in order.
The 811 is great. I mean, there's no wrong answer here.
Forming.
Okay, so technically speaking, I'm not gonna pick this third guitar. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask for a gift card for all 3. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Now, for our last and final round of the wish list, Dylan, one non-Taylor guitar. What is your non-Taylor guitar that you are in the mood for right now? Go.
I don't have a Jazz Master, and that is another void in my life. So I've set my eyes on the Squire J. Mascis Jazz Master because it seems like a classic. It's like a popular model. It's been around a while. It's trusty. All the ambient players love it. I play a lot of ambient stuff. So I'd go with the Squire J. Mascis Jazz Master. Nothing too fancy.
I'm going to tell you something. Squire's QA right now is so on point.
Oh, yeah.
Look, we love guitars on this show. This is a guitar nerd talk show. This is exactly what this is. But I love Squires, man. Their quality assurance is just remarkable. Just throwing that out there. So that's a good guitar. Okay, Gabe, go.
Is Powers Electric a non-Taylor guitar?
Oh, darn it.
Yes, it is non-Taylor.
Powers Electric 100%. Power, yeah, 100%. Jay, we've talked so much about this. I've had Jay on the hunt because these are going out to dealers super fast, and I'm like, I've even messaged Aaron Dablo. I badly want a specific range of green because that's kind of my thing. I've got a Jazz Master back there that's like this olive army green kind of deal. Oh, Larry's a good pick. I love Larry's. But yeah, 100% Powers Electric. Badly want one. If you said I couldn't pick it, I was gonna pick a Reverend Sensei Jr., which is a single pickup Reverend guitar that's super dope.
Peter's
dope guitars.
Peter's awesome. He's like my 73 Martin T3.
My own 1970. Peter,
he would repurchase it because I mean it's got to be a great guitar.
Peter, last year for my birthday, 2 years ago, I purchased a 1979 Taylor 510, which is my birth year, and sent it back to Rob McGargle at the factory and had a neck reset done and stuff. And it's freaking rad. Old guitars are fun.
I gotta mention something real quick. We
Football
do know
is
this.
life.
Football is life. Guitar is life. This is great. We do know this, but what we're trying to say is, let me give you an example. I purchased a Fender Mustang bass, and I purchased at the same time a Squire Mustang bass. I returned the Fender because the Squire was better That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Their quality assurance is phenomenal right now. You can't go wrong, and it doesn't hurt your pocket, so you can modify it like crazy. That's
Yeah.
what I'm getting at.
They've really been ramping up the last few years quite a lot.
So good.
Mhm. Especially like the higher end Squires, they're
Yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah,
They're really, really
they're
good.
even doing like the like paranormal stuff and the
Yep.
limited editions. Do they still make that classic 5 series? Those were always
do.
cool.
Those are great. They have
Is
like
the-
the modern player tellies and
Yeah.
Nashville tellies and
Yeah. Is Ventera part of Squire too, or is that a
that's
Fender?
Fender.
Okay,
Mhm.
those are cool too.
Those are really cool. Yeah.
All right, go, Mike.
Well, it doesn't have to be something that came out this year, right?
No, it's just
So-
any guitar that's not Taylor.
Because Gibson well, I don't know if you want to call it a re-release, but started making Les Paul Supremes again.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
when those guitars first came out
yeah, those are rad.
back in 2003, like that era, I liked them way better. Not saying that the new ones are bad, but the new ones are a really gorgeous arched top on it and what have you. And but now the back and sides on it are just an opaque color. The original Supremes were like highly figured tops with highly figured arched backs on top of it, and there was no control plate on the back either. They fed in all the electronics through the jack plate. So it really is, it's like a semi-hollow kind of thing overall. It's chambered, but those guitars were outstandingly stunning. I have always wanted to have one, and that would be my next purchase. If people say, "Are you going to buy another Les Paul?" Yeah, it's going to be a Les Paul Supreme from like 2003 to 2006, like that era.
That's
Awesome.
dope. I wish I'd known some years ago that was on your list, Mike. I had my hands on one of those for a brief time when
really?
I worked in a music store.
Oh, well, all right. So let's take it one step further. Not only do I want that
Ooh.
guitar, but I want it in root beer finish.
It was not root beer finish.
Let's see. I would probably still take it, but the root the root beer finish just is amazing because it has that sort of, that root beer brown with the white binding and the gold pickup covers, and it just looks elegant and slicker than snot. It's beautiful, beautiful guitar.
Random fact: I have a friend named Root Beer. Well, it's a nickname, but his name's Root Beer. It's a great nickname.
I had a
Root Beer.
roommate that had an SG Supreme, and that guitar was
So good.
wicked. Wicked.
Was that the faded color one?
It was like a blue with a flame maple. It's like
Yeah,
a bluish purple.
Oh,
with a
okay,
flame
yeah.
maple and a carved top.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Such a cool guitar.
Yeah, those are great, and they have really cool inlays too. So on the I don't remember if it was the same thing on the SG, but on the Les Paul Supreme they did the Super 400 inlays.
Yeah.
Which the Super 400 guitars are like stupid expensive. So
Nerdy.
getting that on a
Mom, these guys are
on a Les
nerding
Paul,
out
it's
over
great.
here.
Yeah,
Mom, this is what happens when we just start talking about random guitars. This is how it gets. These
Sorry, Mom
conversations
Parkin.
just
All
get
right.
like blurry and like
Jay, you're
wild.
up. What's your
Oh.
pick?
Oh, it's easy. Jim Root Charvel. Jim Root signature
Nice.
Charvel.
That's cool.
I
That's
played
dope.
one. They're really, I like pointy headstock guitars.
Yeah, you do.
My Jacksons and all that kind of stuff. I have a Tele Deluxe that is not pointy headstock, so that's about as much of a not pointy headstock guitar that I need. But Jim Root, that Charvel is also not a pointy headstock, but it is a ripper. I would do the white one with the rosewood board probably on it, or ebony board, excuse me.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna say
then,
ebony,
but what I like about it is where he had the knobs and the switches put. To me, it's a Strat shaped guitar, a little bit more contoured though. I don't like a Strat shaped guitar often because I don't like where all the switches are.
Mm.
And the way that I play, it's got a Floyd on it. Come on, guys. You
Understood.
had me at Floyd Rose.
You lost me at Floyd Rose.
You had me at Floyd Rose. I'm all about that Floyd because you can rest your hand right in that little nook and you don't need a bar on it. You can just, it's dive bombs by pulling it up. Come on, man. It's it. It's it, Dylan.
I'm in. I concur.
Okay, he concurs.
I concur.
Anyway, I'm so excited. Guys, thank you for joining us on this adventure.
Are we
What?
doing
Jay Jay gave me what?
What sig
Jay
model
gave me an
would you
idea.
want?
What signature guitar would you want? Ooh, let's
Fun
do that
game.
real quick. Bonus round. Dylan,
Ooh.
what
Is this
signature? You
Taylor
already
sig
said Jay
model?
Maskus.
I'll do another one. Matt Heafy Epiphone with the Fishman Fluence pickups. Let's go.
Dude, that's awesome. Go, Gabe.
Ooh, that is so. Like, is it current? Does it have to be current?
No, just go.
Taylor's OG Kenny Loggins sig model was awesome.
Hey,
the
my
wood flower inlays on the fingerboard, that was so cool.
my
current-
AOL Instant Messenger name was Kenny Bloggins.
So good.
Okay, go, Mike.
Guthrie Govan signature Charvel.
Oh,
Definitely.
Sick.
Yeah. Those are
Jack
sick.
Fowler signature
nice.
Schecter.
Ooh.
Those are great.
So good.
Current sig model would be the Shane Balderose Reverend.
Ooh,
in
nice.
army green. It's tight.
Interestingly, I didn't say a Powers Electric, and the reason why is Mike knows yet. That's why I didn't say a Powers Electric, but it's also very high on that
Yet.
list for me. Okay,
Yet.
bonus round. One more bonus round. Stocking stuffer. You get to pick one stocking stuffer.
Oh,
A
go for it.
pedal, an amp. Like you can fit an amp into a stocking, but whatever. Concert tickets. That's a good one. Mics, etc. Go. One stocking stuffer on your wish list, Dylan.
The Brown Amplification Protein Dual Overdrive Volume 3 or Version 3.
Ooh.
Just
You
going
just
right
knew.
for it.
You just went. Should-
Maris LVX Delay is another one that I really want.
Do I need to clip that section and send it to your wife?
You know what? It's funny that we're doing this episode because I literally in the last week put together a wish list for my wife and family. And so as we're going through this, I'm literally looking at an Excel doc that has like 30 guitar pedals on it. God help me. I have a problem.
That's
Same.
so awesome.
Same. I
Way
buy a
too
lot
organized.
of pedals.
Way too organized in this obsession. Yeah, I'm with you, Gabe. Take
Like,
my money.
I buy way too many pedals.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
There
cool.
you go. Gabe, go.
Oof. I was really intrigued by JHS's Klon, like assemble
The
it
Nauticlon?
yourself.
The Nauticlon, yeah.
Not a clone.
I missed the first wave of that, but I was really intrigued by that. My suggestion to everybody else, everyone in the feed, if you don't have one, buy a Taylor hygrometer.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's a good
I'm on
one.
the waiting list for the
Get it.
Nauticlon, by the way. I'll wait
Ah!
till January.
I need one. It's such a good. It's like they're
Such a good idea.
They're so smart.
Yeah.
That's definitely on my pedal list for sure. I'm excited about that. Mike, go ahead.
I was going to say the Nauticlon, but
Nice.
because why not? But really, this won't fit in a stocking, but I really need storage from my vinyl. So if anybody has a pocket version of that I can unfold into something that holds my vinyl
Some
somewhere.
PIM particles to shrink it down.
Yeah, that would be really, really helpful. Go Ant-Man style. Yeah, I'm all about it. Whatever it takes. So that's all I got. Yeah.
Jay, you're up.
Well, this is I see a rescue. We need to come out here, right? We did hygrometer so that we can measure the humidity. We've got to measure the humidity.
Yeah, hygrometer tells you the
You
humidity
needn't
in the room. So I will give
humidity,
a prime example.
but we need to
Yeah.
I
pull
will out
humidity.
myself. I live in,
In fact,
Ohio, where it's
Oregon can have excessive humidity.
Ohio is getting dry right now. It's currently 36% right here. It's not over by my guitars. It's right at 40. But guitars like 45 to 55% humidity best. Anything between 40 and 60 is okay. But I keep a couple of them around the house to monitor. I've got one upstairs. I've got one in my room. Like I just monitor the humidity level because I have a lot of guitars. So that tells you whether or not you need to humidify or dehumidify. I have back there. I have a humidifier in here, and I have another one for the rest of the house. So it's important to know where the humidity is, so you
Yeah.
know what to do.
Remember, relative humidity, 45 to 55%. That's a great, happy guitar spot right there.
Yep, your guitar will like you very much there.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Humidity is a big thing, and it's we love when people want to talk humidity on this show. Sometimes we've probably had like 800 segments on humidity. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oregon humidity killed his J45.
Too much humidity will kill a guitar. Too little
Yeah,
humidity
yeah.
will kill a guitar. I've seen
Real
I've seen both in
sidebar.
many years as a tech.
Sidebar right after my stocking stuffer. That Nauticlon was exactly what I was going to say. So now I can't.
I crushed that one. I'm so proud.
All
Dude,
of us
you
wanted
That,
to
crushed
does that
it.
make up for how bad I failed earlier?
Yeah,
I hope
100%.
maybe Josh is watching and he's like, I'll take care of these guys.
Josh,
I know that's such a good
Josh, I'm a huge fan.
Josh, we're massive fans.
Send
you
the
know we're
pedals.
massive
Huge
fans.
fans. I already
We'll
bought
pay,
them,
we'll
so
pay
send them
for
for
them.
these three.
We'll pay for them. Can we
100%.
just jump? Can we just jump the line? We'll pay for them.
Gladly.
Just jump the line. That's all.
I'll mix some audio for the YouTube show. Whatever I need to do here.
Okay, so then I gotta pick a stocking stuffer that's not a Nauticlon. I guess I could say the same thing, really. It's such a fantastic, yeah.
Somebody's talking about capos in the feed. G7 capos.
Oh,
Yeah,
those are cool.
I don't need any capos.
Taylor Sense, if you don't have it, is also another way
Taylor
to monitor
Sense, that's a
humidity.
good
That's
one.
on my
Smart
list.
battery box.
Taylor wall hangers. Do you
Yeah.
have any wall hangers?
Wall
in your
hangers.
eight? Yep.
I need some of those. I have gross string swings back there. I need to buy some.
I
Dark tone
almost
picks are a really good stocking stuffer.
Why are you trying to sell me on stuff? I'm trying to pick my stocking stuffer. I'm gonna go with the concert tickets. I'm gonna get concert tickets. I'm gonna go see Olivia Rodrigo in Los Angeles with the Breeders as her backup band. How dope is
Can I come with you?
Now
That's pretty
that's
dope.
awesome.
that? Is so sick.
Yeah.
I want to go to there. Okay, that's my
I
stocking
want
stuffer.
to go to there.
That is my stocking stuffer. You guys, yes, Daria, you can come. This is so fun. This has been fun jumping back on. We appreciate it's 10:40. We also appreciate that we've been talking for 1 hour and 41 minutes and 25 seconds, mostly about guitars, which is exciting. It's holidays. It's the holiday time. Get those wish lists out there. Yeah, hygrometers are great. Let's do this. Rapid fire. Hygrometers are great. The beacon tuner is great. New strings. We changed strings to D'Addario XS. That was another one we should have talked about.
Mhm.
That was
Well, in
big.
the year recap, that was
In the year
good topic.
recap, we no longer are stringing elixirs. Not that elixirs are bad strings. We
Nope.
have a little more aligned ethos with D'Addario. We love the strings that they're making. We love their process. We love them as people. And we thought that it was a time to move forward there. The XS strings are fantastic. You should try them.
They sound, I'll say, I don't work at Taylor. They sound better. Try them. They're great. I love them. I've been
love them
begging.
too.
I've been hoping for that for a long time. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, they're really, really great. Oh, that's a good stocking stuffer. It wouldn't fit your stocking, Sambo. That
Oh, good one.
Taylor Neon
Neon
Light.
Light.
Do we still make those? I think.
Yeah, we still have them.
Do we
Yeah.
sell them though?
They're not
we-
neons, they're Leons.
Thank you, Mike. They are.
Yeah, they're
Leon.
Leon. They're not neon. They're LED.
And
Oh,
we have them for dealers. I don't think we sell them
No, they're not
to
available to the
customers
public.
because I probably would want one as well.
If you're looking for a good gift for somebody, the Stella Falone kitchen woodcrafts, those are nice.
Yep.
Get them
are
while you
fantastic.
can.
Bought one of those for my mother-in-law a while back.
Yeah,
Can I
those are
shamelessly plug our satin cleaner because it's like the
Satin
only
cleaner.
satin cleaner?
good. Satin cleaner.
I love the satin cleaner. This is
Right,
the
here we
best.
go.
Not just
Taylor
for Taylor.
satin finish cleaner.
I use this on my Fender basses, electric, anything that has a satin finish. That is the cleaner that you want. Sorry, just had to say that. Shamelessly plugging
it's a
the satin
great
cleaner.
product. It's a great product for all these American Dream guitars we're talking about, for Builder's Edition guitars.
Wait. No 5 seconds of sports. You haven't even made it there yet. We are going right now into Mike's question and then 2 minutes of sports. It's going to be so exciting. Guys, thank you so much. We love you so much for hanging out with us. We are so overwhelmed with gratitude for you guys jumping in after this huge, long 5-month-ish break, maybe 6 months, it seems. We're really excited to be back in the saddle, so they say. So it wouldn't be a primetime episode without Mike's question.
No.
Oh, wait. You know what we didn't talk about? Oh, we
It's
did so much work.
Probably something.
Yeah, you guys need to stay with us for just a second. We had this whole thing where we were going to talk about stuff that's happening next year. I don't
Oh,
think we
yeah,
need to do that
that-
part, Mike.
Yeah, we're not
But
gonna
I
do
do
that.
want to tease something. You guys are all lovely Taylor fans. You are supporters of us You buy our instruments. Which
You're nerds.
You're nerds.
You're
We
guitar
love
nerds.
you.
We love you.
So this feed and this feed only is going to get a teaser or a piece of content that I have been working on for the last almost 2 years. Gabe has also been working on this piece of content with me. So if you have 2 minutes and 30
including
seconds,
today.
including today, if you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to watch something, I would love it. All right. And then we will wrap up with Mike's question in 2 minutes of sports, and we will see you next week, sort of. But ladies and gentlemen, we've been working on this for a very long time. I thought it was a good idea a few years ago, coming up onto our 50th anniversary. The stories that you've never heard, some of them you have heard, but I was able to put Bob Taylor and Kurt Listug and our director of sales, Dave Pelletier, in a room for many, many sessions and go over and tell stories about the last 50 years of Taylor guitars. So if you got 2 minutes, here's a really good clip that you're going to love.
Okay. Hello, Dave.
Gentlemen,
Dave?
great to be with you.
You too?
I have to imagine that it's a bit surreal for you guys sitting here and reflecting back on the beginning of your journey and where it all began. And think about how far you've come. And not to put more pressure on you, but when you think about the impact that Taylor Guitars has had, not just on the music world, but on thousands of employees and suppliers and dealers and all their collective families in the community. What's that feel like thinking back?
Gosh, Dave,
to
you're
the
going to make
beginning?
me cry.
Oh, man. Well, for
I'm one of
me,
those families, so it's a big deal.
well, if I think back to when I first started making guitars, it was almost embarrassing to say, because people would be like, oh, do you do that in your garage? What do you do for a living? And so in those early days, I thought, gosh, it'd be great to make this a legitimate career for me and for people who work for us, So I'd always determined that this is what I want to do, but it was spooky to go into it when I was just a teenager, wondering how I'd ever make a living at it. So that's a great feeling of satisfaction to see that it did turn into something. I mean, that's besides the guitars,
Right.
Yeah. Time's a lot different when you're that young. Looking at 10 years is like a long ways. I remember our first couple of years in business when Mose came and was working for us. And who is his partner? I can't remember his name, but he was like 30. And I'm like, gosh, I can't believe that guy is 30. That is really old. And, and thinking at the time about being in business for 10 years, I was like, man, that is way out there. And the idea then of a company doing even $1 million a year, that was a distant horizon to look way out there and think that someday you could actually do $1 million a year. So yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of steps and a lot of years, and keep taking the next step is what it's been.
I can just tell you from being on the inside of this, it is some of the best storytelling that I've ever heard in my life. And I am so proud and so thrilled for you guys to see the entire thing. We did it. We recorded it. We filmed it, but it will also be available wherever you listen to podcasts for audio versions as well. So I'm very, very excited about that one. And Gabe, we still have a lot of work to finish it, but
So much work.
but I wanted to
best
tease you with
kind.
that one.
It's the best kind of work.
Mike, back to you. Mike's question.
All right. Well, I can ask this of everybody. Everybody can give me. I want one answer. One, because we've been running a long time. So one answer. What is one piece of gear that you do not own and never have owned that you wish you had? One piece of musical instrument gear, whether it be outboard recording gear, a guitar, what have you. Like one piece of gear you wish you had?
The Bruce Hornsby's Baldwin grand piano that was
Wow.
at the Gibson Museum in Beverly Hills was the most beautiful sounding piano that I've ever played in my entire life, and it reminded me of my mom playing piano when I was growing up. She's a beautiful pianist, and so that piano, I sat down and had the opportunity to play it, is like my dream instrument of all time. And if it ever ended up in my lap, well, that would be heavy, but if ever ended up in my hands, I would play it every day, every minute that I possibly could. It would just be a wonderful, wonderful piece of gear. But that's it. That's the Mecca instrument for me.
Gabriel, what about you?
This is hard because I'm torn between like the recording world and my cinematography work. I'm talking to a company about getting a really cool cinematography camera, so I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to shoot for the moon here and say an API console.
Wow.
Which, if you're not a recording nerd, that's a big desk that you mix records on.
That's grandiose.
Yeah.
There you go. If I could pick something, that's it.
I don't even have room for half of one of those in my apartment. Never mind having a whole one, you know.
I have room in my studio. A
I'm sure
small
you
one
do.
would be great. 16 channels. Perfect.
Dylan, what about you?
Time
Man.
out real quick, Gabe. I think there's one at Singing Serpent right now.
Jealous. Very jealous.
Pretty awesome. Sorry, Dylan, your turn.
Dude, I'm having the hardest time picking between a 1964 Fender Bassman head or a Fender Rhodes piano. I just love the sound of Fender Rhodes pianos. Like electric pianos, I think are a bit of a lost art, and that one just sounds beautiful.
I had one for quite a few years.
Did you love it? But you got rid of it?
I don't play keyboards.
Did
So
it break?
no,
They do break.
no. I sold it to a friend, a really good friend, for a nice, very low price. They're massive and they're very heavy.
Yeah, I
hard
was
to
going
move
to say,
around,
is he a
and they take up a ton
bodybuilder?
of space. And he had wanted it really badly, and it wasn't. They're huge. What's up? Represent Fender anytime. But they're amazing. They're really. It's a beautiful, unique. That and like a Wurlitzer, like nothing else sounds like those things.
Yeah. For me, it would be a U87.
A U87 or a 251? Come on.
U87 all day.
I'm a U87
couple people in the
guy.
chat
There's
have
nothing
been
wrong with the
saying
251.
U87.
251 is great. 251 is absolutely great. But if I was going to choose one thing, if I could choose two things, I would have a U87 and a 251. If I have to choose one thing, which were my parameters, it'd be a U87. And it would be a vintage U87 because I just think they sound better. Not that the new ones sound bad. They sound really good, but the vintage ones just have some sort of mojo about them.
Tomo is my boy. Okay. Sorry. That's
so there we go. That was my question. And now
2 minutes of sports.
I like that the guy who's like, it can only be one thing, but then he gives his second thing.
Well, no, because he was yelling at me about, or Jay
You can
was
only pick one
Jay
thing.
was,
but
which way
here's
am I
my number
pointing?
2.
Yeah, Jay's
That
like,
being said-
250.
That dumb clip makes me feel so happy because there's only two real things that we need to talk about. We need to talk about the sadness, which is in baseball, and that is this Shohei Ohtani thing is so stupid.
It is
Here's
so
why.
dumb. It is
Here's
so
why.
dumb.
Here's why. I understand where you're going with this, but the Dodgers may just say, okay, first of all, he's on his second Tommy John. That's great. I love it. He is worth every single penny of that $700 million. I agree, but it makes me sad. Here's why, because he's going to the Dodgers, and they're still not going to win a World Series outside of a pandemic year. You
That's
get
a lie.
this, right, Dylan?
No, I don't understand what you're saying. All I know is victory is in our grasp.
He can't even
our
throw
sight.
next year.
And he might not be able to throw in 2025.
He might not be able to throw in 2025.
It's a
And now
10-year
you deferred.
contract. We got
you
time
deferred.
to
I
free up
mean-
the salary cap, to let other play. We got
Yeah, but
we
I
got
mean, all right,
the whole
so-
team to run. You know.
So yes, all right. So if anybody doesn't know, Shohei Ohtani signed a 10-year, $700 million deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers after much speculation that he was going to Toronto and this place and that place. Now word came out that he's deferred $680 million of his salary to start getting paid after his contract ends. So effectively, $2 million a year of salary is what the Dodgers are paying. Why? So that the Dodgers can still afford to pay somebody else. Otherwise, Shohei Ohtani would have to play every position every game. Now, that sounds good in theory, but like 40 plus million is what's going to count against the cap, right? Some sort of number is counting against the cap, 40 million of his salary.
Yeah.
And it sets a bad precedent for every other baseball team. They're not going
I
to be able
just
to
want to
afford players.
promise one thing. The Detroit Tigers aren't going to be as bad as they were last year. That is all I care about
Go Guardians.
right now. Oh my goodness, with that.
Oh,
Their
that was something.
branding is so terrible, Gabe.
The Guardians branding is awful. But one thing that we did, Jay, remember we read like his annual $70 million a year salary, if you broke it down, is more than the entire Guardians team
Yeah.
There you
in
go.
a year. That's nuts.
Joel's in the feed now, dropping this Guardians thing. See,
Sorry, Joel's got my back.
I'm not going to let you do it.
We're dueling.
All right. Been
That's
the
enough.
last minute of sports here, real quick. That was way longer than 2 minutes, probably.
It was.
But the Detroit Lions, come on, guys. This is the first time I've ever been able to experience this with my guys. And they lost to the Bears last week, but I don't really care. Our defense needs to go a little bit tighter, and we'll do okay. This is the greatest season of my life. The Detroit Lions, where Hall of Fame players go to retire early. Anyway, everybody in the feed, thank you so much. This was a blast. We were so excited to be able to come back finally for one last live episode for the year. So here's the deal. Let's regroup. Next week, we have a pre-recorded episode with Alamo Music. That's going to be super exciting. We'll be in the feed chatting with you guys. A couple weeks after that, we are on break for our holiday shutdown. Then we're going to come back in the second or third week. I think we haven't decided, but you guys will get the email. We'll come back with another live show. We're going to change up the show just a little bit. And I know it's going to be a little frustrating, but you're going to have to pay attention. Follow me real quick. We are going to create a live experience on taylorguitars.com. And then that's going to happen live on Tuesdays. And then on Thursdays, we're going to republish the show on YouTube for everybody. Okay, so don't worry if YouTube is the only place that you like to go on the internet, that your version of the show will be the recorded version just like this. We'll still be in the feed. We'll be chatting when we can, but we're going to publish that live on Thursdays. Okay. On Tuesday nights, we're going to create a really fun live experience right here in this room. Hopefully, as much as we can, we're going to have Mike in the room with me, which is going to be fun. Dylan, hopefully you'll come back for some of these shows. We are still going to pull in Gabe. We have some pretty cool
I'll be flying out every week.
flying out every week. We have some really cool technology so that we can pull Gabe in as a second camera angle. I have a whole team that's going to be in here. We're turning this thing into a little bit more legit show. Still have no budget.
Hologram Gabe.
Yeah,
We've just
I'll be
been
teleporting
saving.
Me and
We've
Tupac.
just been saving our pennies. Mike, you should bring Roger in from time to time, and I might bring
I'll
Harry,
try.
the 35-year-old parrot.
I'm Cooper Greenberg.
Cooper Greenberg. Cooper
love
Greenberg's
Cooper.
Awesome.
He is awesome. He like whisper talks though. He's very quiet. He's
It's been so awesome. You let us talk for 2 hours. We knew this was going to be a live episode. It's been so great to see everybody. Daria, thanks for hanging out. Rob, John, Tomo. Oh my goodness, can't believe you joined. Tex, Kevin,
I meant to address.
Anna, thank you. You meant to address somebody?
No, this
Tomo
earlier.
wanted us to. He's going to put his address in here, and apparently we're going to send him a guitar.
Sweet.
Craig, same dude,
Yeah, man.
same.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, it's like seeing old friends. We love this. We love this show. We love your. Hey, my mom said, and your mom. Mom,
and
Thank you for
Nancy.
watching. You're back. Tuesdays are back in your hands, Mom. We're here, kind of. We'll be back though. Rob, I got your emails, man. We've missed you guys. It is really fun. We have been busy. We cannot wait for you guys to see all the really cool stuff we're launching next year for the 50th. But I think it's time to sign off. What do you think?
Let's do a trivia question with no prize.
Okay, what's the trivia question?
What year did Taylor Guitars start?
Oh, finally.
Nobody answered yet. Oh wait,
There should be
That's right.
Here
no
it comes.
delay. There should be no delay.
It's coming.
Roger is absolutely
Yeah!
73.
Oh.
Who said 73?
Oh.
No.
Come on,
How dare?
man.
Don't shame on
There
me,
we go.
guys.
1744.
One string guitars.
1974.
We did say that next year is the 50th, and if you reverse engineer that,
Math is hard.
I know somebody. I know somebody just is saying that they're all if they have anything that needs a 4-digit pin, it's 5150.
which is great.
That is a great 4-digit pin.
But if anybody knows you're a Van Halen fan, they're stealing your
It's not
ATM
great.
card.
That's fine. Mine's no effects. All right, here we go. We're signing off. Thank you guys for everything. This has been amazing. Thank you for joining and hanging out with us and having a good time. Maybe one day there'll be a platform that makes this really fun and right here on your phone, and we can hang out and talk to each other all the time like this. This is fantastic.
All the time.
All the time. Maybe one day. All right, guys. Have a good night.
See you, nerds.
Time to end this stream.